This is Dr. Bryce Calvillo. I'm here at Metroflex Fort Worth Gym. I just opened my sports therapy, sports chiropractic practice here. I have an on-site office where I primarily treat elite athletes, your competitors, fitness competitors like bodybuilders, physique, bikini. We have a lot of strongman, power lifters, things like that. So obviously those people get a lot of injuries and stuff. So I'm just here on site to provide them with the kind of care and therapy that they need. I'm also a men's physique competitor myself. Today we'll be working out. I have back and bis. I like to do a secondary muscle group along with a primary muscle group, so that's why we'll be hitting biceps after back, because as you know, the biceps assist the back muscles in pulling. I like to listen to my body whenever I'm working out. I don't particularly have a set amount of rest that I usually take or a set number of reps. I tend to just kind of listen to my body. Like I said, sometimes I'll hit 8 reps, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 5. Sometimes my rest is anywhere as short as 15 seconds to up to a minute. I like to mix it up, really get some blood flow in there, as well as getting heavy sets in with some sets that have quality reps in the higher rep range. Like I said, I like to mix it up and just jump around. So you may see me do a heavy set of lat pulls where I'm hitting 5 or 6 reps, but then I'm only resting 15 seconds and I'll crank out 4 or 5 more. That way you're still hitting the muscle fibers with heavy weight, but you're also cramming a lot of blood in there because you're not given the time to rest so that the blood can leave the muscles. Also, if I'm feeling fatigued or not so strong during that particular set, I may do a drop set so that I still get a good amount of reps and still pushing some blood in there, and I'm not just cutting the set early. Also, I don't do too many compound movements with where you're using both arms at the same time. I like to do unilateral lifts. That way you know you're hitting right just as hard as you're hitting left, and vice versa. You don't allow for compensation and asymmetrical muscle growth, because as you know, everything on stage is going to be proportion and symmetry. So you want to try to hit unilateral exercises as often as possible so that you're hitting right and left with the same intensity. Also, I'm a big firm believer in lat pulls. I'll probably do 6-7 sets of lat pull downs. Like I said, mixing the weight and rep range according to how my body's feeling, how much blood I can push into those muscles, because the bottom line, you just want to tear fibers. If you tear them and then you break them down with appropriate rest and nutrition, and that's how they build up stronger. Also, I like to use a wide grip on my rows, and I do seated rows. Bend over rows, I tend to find that other muscle groups will fatigue before the actual back, like your erectors in the low back, so the low back muscles, or also the forearms or shoulders. So I like to really fatigue the muscle group that I'm hitting, and the best way to do that for me is to isolate the back with lat pulls, and then I'll go on to seated rows. Seated rows allows me to be in a comfortable position to where my low back doesn't fatigue, my forearms and shoulders don't fatigue, but that way I can get a nice good burn and good muscle breakdown on the back muscles that I'm working on. Then later, as I go throughout the workout, you'll notice that my rep ranges get a little bit higher and the weight gets a little bit lower, and that's where I'll start doing more of the unilateral lifts. So you'll see me do bent over rows with dumbbells instead of a barbell. That way I'm hitting the right and left with the same amount of weight, and I'm not compensating one side or the other. And like I said, that's going to be a lighter weight, more of a concentrated lift with higher rep range, finishing off fatiguing the back. Then I'll move on to biceps. Biceps will probably already be fatigued about 30 to 40% after hitting back. So I just like to finish them off first with one heavy exercise like easy bar curl, just to really get them broken down, get some blood in there. Then I'll do a couple of concentrated higher rep unilateral lifts with dumbbells, whether it's like alternating dumbbell twists, maybe mix in some hammer curls, or even some concentration curls to hit the lateral head, the short head of the biceps.